Astana, the host of EXPO 2017, is preparing full swing for the exposition. Organizers, the government, experts from the more than 100 countries will present their own visions of the future energy. Top news in the eve of mega event Astana EXPO 2017. Sunshiny Armenia is an original and unique country. It has rich history, 2,500 years long, with unswerving spirit of Ararat, the most ancient winery in the world, as well as practically all kinds of fruit. While the country is discussing the prospective participation at International Exposition Astana EXPO, we will tell you the most interesting facts regarding the country's green achievement. Total area of the country, 29,743 square kilometers. Population, about 3 million people. 214 GDP distribution, agriculture 21.9%, industry 31.5%, and service 46.6%. Armenia, agro-industrial country. It bears crops, cotton, grapes, almond, olives, grains, and vegetables. According to official data, Armenia has a 60% self-sufficiency level in terms of vital food products. Also, the Republic has a huge tourist potential. It has a lot of recreational resources and ancient historical monuments, which attract crowds of tourists. The only preserved paganist temple, Garni, monastery complex, Gerd, Lake Sevan, remnants of Zwartnot's temple, Ambert and Matnadaran fortresses. Armenia does not have an access to sea and has mostly mountainous terrain. Despite mostly continental climate, there are about 300 days of sunshine in its southern regions. However, the development of solar energy in the country is obstructed by dust, which settling on heliocollectors complicates the process of heat accumulation. Note that Armenia is dependent on energy imports. The main direction of green economy of the country is energy efficiency and energy saving. Not long ago, the Republic has made an amendment to its law on energy saving and renewable energy. Now all of the buildings to be constructed on its territory must comply with energy efficiency principles. Earlier, this law had a declarative character, and these measures were enforced on a voluntary basis. Bagram Jalalan has told us about the situation at the housing fund of the country.
Картина, она общая, можно сказать, по большинству стран СНГ. У нас примерно одинаковое наследие, то есть.
In principle, the overall picture shows that most of CIS countries have similar heritage. In other words, the housing fund is not new, and most of the buildings were built 30 to 50 years ago, when energy was cheap and there was little attention paid to energy efficiency and energy saving. Thus, most of the public buildings were constructed without insulation, and there were no measures to ensure energy efficiency in the region. The emphasis, and probably the most challenging objective, in this project has been the promotion of construction normatives. This involves support of normative changes in legislature.
Это продвижение новых строительных нормативов, это поддержка государства в проведении изменений в законодательстве.
This project has lasted for 5 years and has had 4 main components: working with legislative acts, certification and testing of insulation materials, holding trainings to improve qualification of the experts, as well as demonstrative pilot, with help of which we can show to the government and the private sector the benefits of implemented technologies.
Первый пилотный объект, который был сдан, это социальное здание в городе Goris.
For instance, the first completed object is in the city of Goris in south of Armenia, a small building allocated for socially deprived class of population that lived in patches. The project of the building was completely revised.
Во временном жилье. Проект был пересмотрен полностью этого здания, вследствие чего
we have been able to reach 63% level of energy saving and increase the housing area by reconstruction of walls of the building that has been completed in 2012.
За счет того, что мы переделали стеновую конструкцию. Здание было сдано в эксплуатацию в 2012 году.
In addition to energy efficiency of the buildings, the country is actively carrying out projects on energy-efficient lighting. As the country does not have big volumes of production in the industry, the street lighting is the main source of carbon dioxide emissions. Therefore, Ministry of Nature Protection, in collaboration with UNDP, have modernized the street lighting in the capital of the country, Yerevan city. Also, there are funds being formed at the local municipalities that accumulate savings for the development of other directions.
Ереван все-таки доминирует в потреблении. По Армении примерно больше половины населения, они живут в Ереване.
Yerevan dominates consumption in Armenia because more than a half of population live there, and other cities or municipalities in comparison are times smaller than Yerevan. The amount of saving in Yerevan is significantly bigger as well. On other hand, Yerevan has the highest number of projects.
Первый проект в Ереване был порядка установки более чем 50.
The first project in Yerevan was the installation of more than 500 lamps. We haven't had more than 100 lamps in the region so far. There is less power in those areas as well, which makes the impact of savings in the fund significantly higher.
Поэтому ощутимость накоплений в фонде денег в Ереване значительно выше.
According to the preliminary energy audit, the cities in Armenia that operate on sodium lighting have a potential to decrease energy consumption by 50%. Also, the results have demonstrated that energy consumption could be reduced by 70% in cities with lighting systems based on mercury. This is conditioned by wearing out of lamps and their low quality. Thus, the principal condition for implementing such a project was quality of the lamps.
В рамках нашего проекта мы сделали освещение, то есть первый пилот, который был сделан в Ереване, да и вообще в рамках нашего проекта.
Our first pilot project that has been implemented in Yerevan was lighting at Isakov Street. This is the gateway to Yerevan, because all arriving and departing visitors from the airport use this route. This highway consists of two parts, the Isakov Avenue and Tyrov Street. There are slightly different schemes of lighting.
И улица Таирова. Там были немножко разные схемы освещения, поэтому мы делали расчеты. Расчеты показали, что если вот
We have estimated that replacing a 250-watt sodium lamp with 99-watt lamp produces better lighting. We have made our measurements and estimated that the average lighting of the street is 16 lux. For the street of such a class, the norm is 20 lux. We had to increase lighting up to 20 lux, but because we know that the lamp wears out, we have increased it to 26 lux. We have done so on Tyrov Street. A similar work was done on Isakov.
Мы должны были ее перекрыть, то есть мы должны были поднять освещение хотя бы до 20 люкс. Но поскольку мы знаем, что светильник может деградировать, то мы заложили завышение. И там сейчас 26 люкс.
The result of this project in monetary terms amounted to $40,000, while the energy consumption in that area was reduced by 63%. The contemporary of the Republic of Kazakhstan, the European Bank for Development and Reconstruction, has been established in 1991 and up until today has implemented more than 4,500 projects with a total worth of 110.8 billion euros. The scale of operation encompasses 36 countries in Central Europe and Central Asia. The main mission of the bank is in providing services for countries to transition to market economy, developing entrepreneurial activities. Loans given by the bank stimulate the development of innovation, transparency, and improving living standards. Mr. Vincent Deinhover, Principal on Product and Business Development at EBRD, has told us about the main methods and principles of this work.
Во-первых, как уже было сказано, очень важно здесь привлекать частный сектор с точки зрения финансирования.
Firstly, in terms of financing, it is important to attract the private sector, which is one of the priorities for our bank. We have been established in 1991 to promote the transition to market economy, participating in private sector of the economy. However, the participation of the governmental agencies is important in terms of legislature. We should have a minimal legislative base so that such mechanisms are successfully implemented. Lastly, what we decided to do here in Kazakhstan is to implement as many exciting practices as possible, certainly taking into account the specifics of Kazakhstani context.
Как можно больше используем уже практик, которые уже есть, насколько это возможно, и тоже, конечно, учетом казахской специфики.
Covering a quite wide range of sectors of economy, from agro-industrial complex to sustainable resource use and climate change, at present EBRD is carrying out an active work on infrastructure of Kazakhstan. Namely, it focuses on energy efficiency of the cities. There are 39 contracts signed in the field. The portfolio has reached 1 billion euros. The number of active agreements with the participation of the bank, 33 projects. 20% of all projects cover municipal infrastructure. The rest, 80%, cover transport. The implemented municipal infrastructure projects cover the whole Kazakhstan. For instance, the heat and water supply has been improved in practically all major cities of Kazakhstan. The public transport agencies of Almaty, Astana, Kazakh, Semey, Oskimyan and Aktobe have received funding from European Bank. The lighting systems in Kazakh, Semey and Oskimyan have been modernized.
С точки зрения уличного освещения всегда стараемся привлекать.
In terms of street lighting, we always try to attract the private sector, because we believe that this has to be a gradual process. We would like to see projects going beyond the mere replacement of street lamps. The private sector will fulfill such a task with no difficulty. We want to see its long-term participation, so that not only they set up the objects, but also provide 5 to 10 years of service for this infrastructure. It is clear that there are many issues concerning that matter. Last year, the European Bank has confirmed its new strategy of transitioning to green economy, which is comprised of not only the further development of ecological activity, but also includes environmental protection and transfer of technologies.
То, что касается наш подход к зеленому финансированию в целом,
Concerning our approach to green finance as a whole, as it has already been mentioned, we prioritize Kazakhstan at our bank because we have approved this approach to green economy only last year. While such direction is existing in Kazakhstan already for a couple of years. Gradually, we began doing projects related to environmental protection.
экологические проекты, да, и сбережения окружающей среды.
The national company Astana EXPO 2017 has given out pavilions to 5 different countries' participants. Now China, France, Hungary, Germany and Turkey can occupy their pavilions. Along with international pavilions, at present there are 4 objects that have been completed. EXPO City with 1,374 places, EXPO Office, the Center for Energy Research and Internal Affairs covering an area of more than 400,000 square kilometers. More than 300 local companies are involved in the construction process and have provided service amounting to 492 billion tenge. The chair of the board at the national company, Ahmedjan Isimov, has told us about the schedule of completion.
Шар, главный павильон, национальный павильон, он будет завершен строительство к концу этого года. Но там предстоит.
The sphere is the main pavilion, a national one. It will be completed by the end of this year. Then there will be a huge work to be done in terms of content. This work will be processed until May. In May, we will furnish each of 8 levels that will represent a certain theme starting from space energy, solar energy, wind and hydro energy, and ending by gene energy. This is huge work. I can tell the same about the thematic pavilion. It has been constructed. Now we need to work on its content, which will take more than 1 month. But the main thing is that we will finish the construction completely by the New Year's Eve.
Который тоже будет проводиться не 1 месяц. Строительство мы завершим полностью к Новому году всех объектов.
Note that Hungary has occupied the pavilion with total area of 412 square meters. The theme of the country's pavilion is Energy Future Unites Us. Having abundance of sun, wind and water, Hungary will demonstrate the newest developments in the field of electrical and urban planning. Total area of Turkish pavilion is 959 square meters. Germany will place its developments in alternative energy at the pavilion named On the Way to Energy. It is the biggest pavilion with an area of 1,250 square kilometers. China has occupied the pavilion of 1,000 square meters, on which it will present Green Silkway. The idea behind this project is a new approach to energy cooperation. France occupied the pavilion with an area of 1,069 square meters. The pavilion was named Energy Turn for Green Growth, on which there will be presented the most innovative development in the field of renewable energy and environmentally clean transport. In addition, there was festive award ceremony of granting accommodation for representatives of countries participants France and China.
Материалы, они, например, та же самая сфера, вот каждый.
The materials are in the same field. Each sheet of glass weighs from 600 to 800 kilograms. It is clear that it has arced shape. There are only 2 plants that produce such type of glass with thickness of 0.5 centimeter.
Толщиной 5 сантиметров. Его только один монтаж производилось строительной компанией уникальным методом.
The installation was completed applying a unique method and using special robots, which is why the construction will be frequently discussed by architects and constructors. This is indeed a unique object. There are also some innovations in construction of Energy Hall Representative Congress Hall, but this is yet to come.
Применяется очень много новшеств при строительстве холла энергии, при строительстве Конгресс-холла, но это впереди.
The National Pavilion of Kazakhstan, the sphere, is the main building of EXPO and is recognized as a symbol of EXPO 2017, an exemplary project based on the use of green technologies. Inside the pavilion, there will be the Museum of High Technologies and the Museum of History and the People of Kazakhstan.